Sierra. That's right, baby. Today, King's Quest. King's Quest is probably my favorite series of games ever. And these new games do not disappoint at all. I love them. These games are phenomenal. They're very, very different from the old ones, but they're just as good, in my opinion. If not better. But it's difficult to compare them because they're so different. But here we have King's Quest, the 2015 through 17 one. So I had the idea, I was like, I want to play King's Quest again. I was like, I'll make a series playing it. Except, what I think I'm going to do is play through the series in like the timeline that it happens in the games. Which would involve me skipping between the old games and this modern King's Quest here multiple times. So, yeah, so this first chapter, A Night to Remember, is the first chapter. It's like the prequel to the whole series. So, gonna play that. I've already played this whole game, this whole one over before, so I know what I'm doing roughly. But yeah, so A Night to Remember, and then there's, next up will be King's Quest 1, as in the original one. And the story, I want to see if this, like, pieces together a really cohesive story, actually. That'd be interesting to see. So, yeah, let's go. Here we go. This will also be interesting because their two series are so different. I mean, like, pixels, just a few pixels are the old King's Quest games, and then this is like magnificent hand-painted beauty, heavy on cutscenes, less on the gameplay, but the story in both is actually really great. Well, less so for some of the earlier King's Quest games. That's just kind of about the going around doing stuff. And this one has stuff like this, you know, like little, well, there's quick time events, but little button prompt things that don't really matter very much, which I'm usually not a fan of in games, except in this, they make it work really, really well. Because it kind of, it keeps you engaged. Like right now, I'm climbing on this rope, I stopped pressing down, I stopped moving. It's, oh, hold on.
Years, but it was the last place left to look.
See, like, it keeps you, it's basically like a cutscene of me climbing down that, but I'm actually still pressing something, which weirdly keeps you just the right amount of engaged in what's happening. And as you just saw with that, this whole thing is narrated from King Graham, who is the person that you are playing as. He's teaching, well, he's telling all these stories to his granddaughter. So it also, the whole thing, this already all happened in the past at the time of these games. So it's all being recounted, and they really work that in well, like the whole narration.
Exactly as I remembered it, but it wasn't all that different either.
I'll try to talk over when they're saying stuff. I know there's subtitles, but, you know, gotta hear the voice acting. I think that's, I can't remember his name. The guy who plays the old scientist guy in Back to the Future, and in a million other things. That's the guy who voices old King Graham.
Two odd contraptions guarded the lost treasure. I would have to turn one and see what happened.
And you're obviously not really supposed to know what's happening right now here. What this actually is, this is, right here, the whole A Night to Remember is a prequel to the first King's Quest, basically, and the whole series, except this right here is actually, a little thing that happens after the rest of A Night to Remember.
Were jammed in every nook and cranny of that cave. It all seems so familiar.
And this is actually like a reimagining of the end, basically, of King's Quest 1. So I'll point all that out when I'm playing that. It's interesting.
Wait. Hold on, Grandpa. I don't remember this part of the story. Beds hanging from stalactites?
And that's the granddaughter.
Yeah, Gwendolyn, don't worry. No detail in this story will be overlooked. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. As I treaded through the river of rumbling trundles, I feared I knew the source of that deafening wind.
Uh-oh. I don't think this bridge would ever hold up in real life.
Nestled
Ooh.
beneath a slumbering pile of teeth and claws was...
Fabled mirror.
Oh, so you remember this part of the story.
Well, dragons are my favorite.
Do you want to tell this part?
Yes. King Edward sent me, the greatest knight in all of Daventry, on a quest to return his stolen mirror. A gigantic, hulking beast of a dragon was the last thing in my way to... My way to add a shinier hat to my collection.
Yeah, so they have like this organic narration over the whole thing. And the dynamic between them is pretty good, too.
I tried to turn that crazy contraption, but it was missing a handle. Someone tampered with it, creating some silly conundrum.
So there's still like little puzzle things, like in the original King's Quest games. There's actually like a decent amount. Here's a little like bed bunker layer down here.
Volumes of old books.
Hey. And it does really unique things like this.
Of that strange bedroom.
Where like
How to tame a dragon, breaking the spirit of hideous beasts, amateur spells to impress your friends with. No books about recovering missing handles, though.
I'm trying to not like talk over the thing, but then now I forget what I was saying. All right, it's really like ambitious, like I guess ambitious. It's unique. You know, like look at this bookshelf, and then it gives you like a little. Oh, okay, he's talking again. It's giving you like this first-person perspective sort of situation. It's just like it changes a lot. There's a lot of different stuff in it. Versatile. Offers a lot. Let's see. I gotta pull this thing, I think. Oh, don't ring that bell.
So, the missing handle was booby-trapped? What did you do?
Well, I used my cleverness to outsmart the trap.
He's a genius. No, he isn't.
Then I used my cleverness to hide.
Aha! The bed. Oh, yeah. I love how cool this dragon looks. I can't remember the name of it. Snaggletooth? I don't know. Something like that.
Luckily, that half-blinded beast never noticed me in bed.
A dragon's eye must be really hard to pierce with an arrow. At archery lessons, I can barely hit a hay bale.
It is indeed a feat only for skilled archers.
What did you use to fix the broken switch?
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe the handle? That little thing about, must be a really skilled archer, and he kind of like sadly said, you have to be really skilled. That's a sort of foreshadowing situation there. How did the dragon not hear that?
The dragon's chains were coiled around a gigantic switch mounted to the cave wall. This cave seemed to be filled with failed adventures.
Yeah, there's 3 paths. You'll see there's 3 paths, basically, that you can... Most options have 3, like, puzzles and things, and just things you can do. Often have 3 different ways that you can approach them.
After he
There's...
briefly basked in the sun, the narcoleptic dragon went back to snoring.
There's, like...
all day too.
Ah.
The mirror was my only friend.
My only friend is a mirror. Yeah, I got it. Compassion, basically, like kindness, love. Then there's cleverness, just like, and then the third attribute is like bravery, like fighting things. So there's like the 3 different things you can do, and there's like 3 different people that embody those that you learn from. You'll see. And oh god, okay, that was close. So I've already done cleverness and bravery. Bravery was like my first time I played, because I didn't really realize there was the 3 choices, and that was just kind of the one I naturally decided to go with. No, the dragon's waking up. For this one, though, I'm going to do Compassion, because I haven't done that one yet. And it affects, like, some small things about the game. So it's cool. You know, you see as you go. Like, the different people will react to you differently. Better not touch any more of the Skalowlowitans. The music in this game is great. The visuals are great, the music's great, the story, the art, the gameplay. I love this. Just a great time. Oh no! Go back to bed, dragon. There you go. You ain't seen nothing. And the voice acting's great too. They did a great job with everything. They really did. It's such like a weird way to revive King's Quest. Like, you see stuff like Banjo-Kazooie being revived with ukulele, which I enjoy ukulele, but I definitely recognize.
Thought they were
Hold
pretty
on.
clever, but I would probably find a way to hit that unreachable switch.
I find a lot of flaws in ukulele as well, but it's you know, it's Banjo-Kazooie, and then it's the exact same type of game when they revived it, basically. Obviously, I couldn't do a direct revival, so that's a little bit different, but with this, I mean, it's nothing like the old King's Quest. Yeah, it's kind of like it, but basically nothing like it. This skeleton is kind of important, too. Yeah, the music in this is great. Boink. Gotcha. Whoa. Whoa.
The mirror called
Ooh.
out to me.
Oh god, that's like blinding. Ow. Ah, it's like the sun. Jeez. Alright. I vaguely remember how to do this little puzzle here. I think the bell calls him over, like, dinner's up. And this thing starts lowering the thing. Maybe if I don't remember. Let me ring this bell first. Let me just see what everything does. This game obviously has more involved puzzles. They're like things where you interact with the world instead of just like you pick up something, you use the thing on the other thing. I'll be excited to go between the two games, not just for the whole story situation, but also for the this. Oh, he doesn't look very happy. I probably should put some meat down. For the whole story situation, but also to experience the different gameplay.
A ridiculous feeding contraption was
There we
cobbled
go.
together to keep the beast and probably its owner alive.
That was the wrong one. How does this pulley system work here? How does the same chain go from over there, from up here? Yeah, something kind of minor and random I never thought of until now. Graham doesn't have a cape in the other King's Quest, like the old ones. Which is, I mean, like, they make a big deal out of the cape in this because it's kind of like the whole joke is that's where he keeps everything. And like some people call them pockets and stuff. But I just don't think he has a cape in the old games. Because I was just looking at like the design of him, like, you know, he's well designed. Oh god, I should probably grab this. Get it. Get the mirror. Yeah. Uh-oh. See, so like, yeah, so like that, he puts his cape over, and then from here, just suddenly with him. Damn, son. What a shot. Oh, God. Now I'm running. Ah! No! Oh. Oh, here we go. Actually, the very first time I played this game, I wasn't a big fan, because I was, like, so thrown off by how different it was from the old King's Quest. And I was here, I'm like, oh, you know, this is really hard, you know, it auto-jumped me on that bridge there, this isn't even a challenge, but, like, it's not supposed to be challenging, it's, I mean, in some ways it is, but also, it's just engaging. Like, you're going down this river, and it's not just a cutscene, it's like, oh god. Yeah, right there, I was not pressing D, so I gotta start spamming D to get you out of reach of him, but I didn't do it in time. So you do have to be, like, involved. And, like, it spawns you right here. So, like, it's not supposed to be difficult. It's just, it's engaging. And it really works. Oh, God. Ah! Oh, God. Oh, good thing time slowed down there. Oh, there's another one. Whoa. Jump. I know I mentioned this, but the soundtrack in this game, the sound design in general, it's so great. And there's so many nods to the old franchise. God, these games are fantastic. Now, A Night to Remember is, this first chapter here is by far the longest chapter of the new King's Quest games, so, whoa. So, just expect this video to be a lot longer than the ones to follow. Oh god. Makes the same noise like the Transformers do from the new movies. I hate those movies, but... Whoa. Get out of the way, beds. And the genius of showing this little tiny snippet here, besides like to show the reimagining of the old stuff and as a sort of tutorial and everything, is also because you see stuff like
magic mirror safely in my possession. I dreamt of a Daventry I would be rewarded with, and the kingdom it could become.
There's like the beds hanging from the ceiling, and you're like, why are there beds from the ceiling? But as you play through all the chapters, everything comes full circle in a great way. So just wrapping up this tutorial part here. Yeah, I'd probably be crapping my pants.
In that split second, I had three choices in front of me. Any would clear my path to safety, and all would have rippling consequences.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Here's the beginning thing. Like, I can choose to shoot him in the eye, take out his other eyeball. That's like the bravery path and like the fighting. I can hit this bell to outsmart him, make him think there's dinner, or I can set him free as the compassion, and that's what I'm going for. He kind of looks at me like, oh, cool, thanks. I'll be seeing you later then. Now, a pretty long cutscene follows here.
My hands
So I'll probably be quiet for a bit.
My arms could barely grip the rope, but with the last of my strength, I climbed out of the well and headed back to the castle. Ever
Now
since
here's
the
him and his
magic
granddaughter.
mirror returned, its reflections have warned the kingdom of danger, kept our family safe, and it has exposed many troublesome crumbs tangled in my beard.
Yeah. King Edward was so proud that you took his lost treasure that he made you king. Everyone knows that part. Now, can we get back to that dragon?
Gwendolyn, there is so much more to my stories than dragons. I hope this old cap will be remembered for far more than the action tattered across its brim, sewn into the seams of many hidden adventures.
This game also gets surprisingly deep, too.
All right, let's get back to the dragon.
And it's funny.
Tell me everything. Like, why did you set the dragon free even though he was trying to eat you?
I set him free because, well, over the years I realized that the dragon was not the despicable, hideous beast Daventry had made him out to be. He was just a caged animal that was never shown any kindness. On that day, I forgave the dragon for his atrocious past.
You have such a bizarre way of making friends, Grandpa. I guess I do too. I'm known as Gwendolyn the Popular back home. But only to my stuffed bunnies.
I've always found it best to pursue friends where I can, though they don't always feel the same about me.
All right, you two. Grandpa needs to rest. Gwendolyn, it's way past your bedtime.
Sleep well, Grandpa. I'll be back first thing in the morning.
I don't need rest. I'm as spry as I've ever been, though I wouldn't mind a slice of magic fruit.
That's a reference, I think, to the second or third game of the original series. And that's the poster for the sixth game right there. And that's the poster for the third game. The sixth game and the fifth game are probably the best two of the original series. I think there's stuff like this here too. So like the choice I made already in choosing to show the dragon kindness, I think affects how she deals with situations and whatnot.
You're free!
See?
Roar! Well, hello, cousin.
Guard!
I'm glad you're finally here. He's been asking about you for days. I had to sit through the same story 5 times.
We got here as fast as we could. And I like Grandpa's stories. Especially the ones with dragons.
Ah, yes, the legendary beast that he set free. I don't know if he forgets I've heard that story before, or he doesn't care, but he loves telling it to anyone that will listen.
And then there's the disparity between Gwendolyn
I'm
and
pretty
this
sure
guy
I heard
here.
the nursemaids telling his same jokes in the hall.
Have you heard anything the doctors are saying?
Yes,
Oh, God.
doctors, wizards, magic elves. Grandfather is fine, Gwendolyn. They all say the same thing. He's just old. He still has a few good years left. Look, we're all excited that your family made the trip, but there's no need to worry. You should get some rest. I'm sure you're scheduled for a full morning of Grandfather's hilarious ramblings.
Oh, I'm also scheduled for the tournament tomorrow.
Ah, yes, the fencing tournament. You'll love it. I'm, of course, favored to win, and will make sure you have the very best seat to view my victory. The courtyard will be filled with important people and delicious hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, I'm actually competing in the tournament.
I had no idea we were hosting a junior tournament.
Oh,
That's
baby, what a
In
burn.
that case, I will gladly be there to cheer you on and eat delectable appetizers.
Nope. No junior tournament. I'll be squaring off against you.
I see. Well, perhaps this is the time to stop listening to stories and finally make some of your own.
Dang, son.
Good night, Gwendolyn. Sleep well.
But this game is so emotional because of, especially in the last chapter, obviously, but this whole thing here with,
Come in, Gwendolyn.
you know, Graham. I wanted to call him Gwendolyn. Thinking G name, it's the wrong one. He's, you know, he's old and he's sick. So, and then he's looking back on his old adventures and he's like trying to deal with the fact that he can't do what he used to be able to do.
Like that fencing tournament. I hear you're
It's sad.
competing.
It's bittersweet though.
Well,
It is a good
I
message.
signed up, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Nonsense. If it's Scott you're worried about, he's no bother. After all, I only learned that you entered after he complained about it all morning. Threatened, I'm guessing. There are many ways to win a duel. I, for one, have always been fond of
Oh, another choice here. An act of
treating
kindness.
my opponents with respect. You'll be surprised what opens up to you. A lovely fellow once told me the fastest way to anyone's heart is through their stomach. Speaking of, that reminds me of a story. One I know you haven't heard before. When I was a much younger lad, before I was a knight, before I'd been to Daventry, and even before I had seen a dragon.
So this is
It's
the
a tale
prequel,
about a
very
journey
beginning.
that changed my life. It is a long story, but I shall tell it briefly.
This is the whole beginning of all the King's Quest games, basically right here. Marks the start.
Triumph, this looks as good a place as any to camp for the night. Let's rest up. We have a big day tomorrow.
And we're falling. And it's stuff like this that when I first played initially turned me off. I was like, what's even the point of this? But it's just quirky and fun, really. It's not like... You have to be... I think you have to be a certain type of person to enjoy these games. I would say they definitely have universal appeal to some extent for sure, but also like you gotta like take them for what they are, you know. And then he misses the hat there.
After gracefully rappelling down the cliff, I welcomed the sight of an actual road, the first sign of civilization.